Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home.
Welcome, everybody, to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive. And if you're somebody who struggles with food and weight, if you are a chronic binge eater, if you're a yo-yo dieter, you are no stranger to secretive eating. No, you're not. I certainly am not. I did most of my binging in secret. So I did a show a couple hundred shows ago called Sick as Our Secrets. And I thought it's time to bring this baby back. So enjoy the show. I think it's worth bringing out again because, look, secretive eating isn't going away until you find a solution. And Heal Your Hunger definitely has a solution. I haven't done secretive binge eating or binging and eating at all in quite a while. And I want you to have that experience too. But let's talk about this phenomenon of secretive eating. You know, if you're here for the first time, welcome. It's a wonderful place to land. If you've been on the diet roller coaster ride for a very long time, I know all about it. I was 50 pounds overweight and I struggled for years with my weight. And what a struggle it is. I know that struggle. And by the grace of God, there's a way out. And so that's what I share about here on the show. So if you're looking for a way out, if you're looking for a way by which you don't have to keep struggling with food and weight, you don't have to keep obsessing about food 24/7. You don't have to be jumping on the scale every day or twice a day, wondering if you've lost a pound or two. You can put all that aside and you can finally live in freedom. And so that's what we talk about here. Healing your hunger is really about healing the underlying causes that drive your emotional hunger. Okay. And if you're not sure if you're an emotional eater, guess what? I've created a quiz that will make it super easy for you to find out. Now, if you go to healyourhunger.com, you'll see a free quiz. You take that quiz, it'll tell you if you're an emotional eater or a food addict or somewhere in between. And if you have not yet joined us in the secret sauce group, that's where I record my podcasts live. Okay. So they happen real time in the secret sauce group. So you can ask questions, you can comment on the things that I'm sharing about. And I'm in there answering comments. And it's just a wonderful place to be in community with other emotional eaters, other people on the path of healing, and also getting most up-to-date information from Heal Your Hunger free classes, free guest interviews, and that kind of thing. So join us there. Go to Facebook and type in the secret sauce to end emotional eating. Okay, on with the show. I was on a bike ride today and this topic came into my mind and I thought, I got to share about it. I just got to share about it. So what I want to talk about today is really about secrets, and we are as sick as our secrets. And this is especially important for emotional eaters. Why? Because we are very secretive people. That's right. We have lots of secrets, and our eating behavior is just the tip of the iceberg, but it's a big one. Okay. So the problem with our pattern of eating and overeating and binge eating and eating things we're embarrassed about and doing things that we're embarrassed about to try to get rid of the things that we've eaten that we're embarrassed about. The problem is we have a lot of shame. We have a lot of shame and guilt, and we don't want anybody to know. So it lends itself to secrets. Secretive eating, I did it all the time. I would sneak downstairs and get the ice cream out of the freezer and eat the ice cream. Sometimes, well, most of the time, I would eat all the ice cream and then I'd be up a creek because I'd be like, oh no, what am I going to do? And so I'd go buy ice cream and replace the ice cream that I ate. I mean, a lot of shenanigans around food and being secretive. I didn't want people to know how much I was eating. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of lying about what you ate or leaving people to believe it was somebody else who ate it. I've heard a lot about that. I know I've done that as well. It's just, there's a lot of shame in overeating, and there's a lot of shame in binge eating and eating things we're not happy about and not wanting people to know. And the clients that I have, I mean, when they first come to Heal Your Hunger, they can't believe that they're not the only ones who have done the things they've done. In my group programs, so much of the healing happens when women are discovering that they're not the only ones. And it just amazes me how everybody, all the emotional eaters, it seems like, for so long carry this shroud of guilt and they believe they are the only ones. And I knew I did. I thought I was the only one who did the things I did with food. Was so ashamed. Turns out everybody's doing it, and women all around the world are doing it. Okay. And men, of course, as well. So I want to talk today about this topic of being as sick as our secrets, because our secrets really do make us sick. And they make us sick because they keep us isolated. And now more than ever, we cannot afford to be isolated because we're already physically isolated on account of the pandemic. So, this idea of being secretive and having secrets is so detrimental to our health, and especially for emotional eaters, because when we do have secrets around our eating, and it's not just our eating, oh my goodness, I felt so much shame about so many things. But I'm going to talk about the eating first. When I had so much shame about my eating, it was so hard for me because I thought I was the only one. I kept up to myself, and then it perpetuated the behavior. So, have you had an experience of binging, feeling embarrassed about the binging, not wanting anybody to know, covering up the evidence, and then holding on to that burden of a secret, and then that burden getting so great that you have to eat to deal with it? And there you have the vicious cycle, right? We feel so embarrassed about our eating. We don't tell anybody. We can't talk about it with anybody. I mean, I talk to women every day whose spouses don't even know how they struggle with food. I mean, they have an idea that their spouse struggles with weight, but they don't know the depths of it. So many spouses have no idea because these women aren't sharing it. They're keeping it 100% to themselves. I had one woman one time who had never talked to anybody about her eating behavior, and the things she did with food. Nobody. It was a secret her entire life from everybody. Do you know how heavy that load is to carry? And it just perpetuates the cycle of overeating. It just makes us feel so heavy and so ashamed and so alone that we have to eat to comfort ourselves. So it goes on and on and on. And to break this cycle, we have to let the cat out of the bag. We have to stop keeping secrets. But as I said, it's not just the food that we're secretive about, right? I mean, so much of the reason why we're driven to eat in the first place is because of the other secrets in our lives. When I started my recovery path, I felt like I had been, when I was eating, I felt like my whole life was about me putting on a show. I felt like such a phony in my life because I believed from a very young age that who I was not enough. I don't know where I got that idea. I don't know if my parents gave it to me or they had it about themselves and I absorbed that belief system. But regardless, I did not think I was enough. And I did not believe that who I was going to cut it in this world. And so at a very young age, I started being somebody else. Have you ever had that experience? Please post in the comments. Have you ever had the experience of just, feeling like you're not enough and feeling you have to be somebody else? You have to be Susie. You have to be Sally. You have to be Virginia. And so we go about trying to be somebody else and we feel inauthentic and we feel like out of touch with who we are and we feel like a phony. We have the imposter syndrome and that makes for more eating because we feel disconnected from ourselves, from our bodies. I just didn't even feel real. I felt like a Barbie doll. I didn't look like a Barbie doll. I was very overweight. Barbie dolls are usually skinny, but I felt like I was a doll, like I was just a persona, and not who I really am because I didn't think who I really was good enough. And so that feeling of being a phony, that feeling of kind of putting on a show, always trying to be funny, always trying to, make people laugh, always trying to be witty, That's exhausting. And that drove my eating as well, not to mention the guilt of not being real. I had so much guilt about the fact that I wasn't real and people didn't know the real me. I kept who I was hidden. I thought I was so bad that I had to keep who I was hidden. And I put on this phony personality. So the guilt of that drove my eating for so long. And then other secrets. I carried shame from a very young age. I had sexual abuse in my past and as a child, and that I carried so much shame about that. And I didn't tell a soul. I never talked about that. And that's so typical for emotional eaters to carry those kinds of secrets of sexual abuse, especially. It's so shameful. We blame ourselves. We think we're just the scum of the earth for it. I thought I was so bad. I thought I was stupid. I thought I was bad. And I thought I was ugly. These are the underlying beliefs I carried about myself. And I put it on to try to prove it wasn't true, or at least show other people that I didn't feel that way. But those burdens of the past, those secrets, those things in my past that were like deep, dark secrets that I thought if anybody ever knew, they would reject me. I was so ashamed. I was ashamed of my sexual behavior, on account of that early childhood sexual experience that I had that went on for several years. I became a compulsive masturbator. So I masturbated compulsively. I was so ashamed of that. I thought I was the only one who did that. And I was young. I was like age 10, 10 to 15 or whatever, like those ages where nobody was talking about sex, but I was compulsive. I was compulsive around masturbating and I felt so embarrassed and ashamed about it. Oh my God, it made me feel so dirty. I judged it. Again, I wasn't talking to anybody about it. So nobody could normalize it for me. Nobody could tell me I was good and it was a normal thing, or at least like something that didn't make me bad. I didn't talk about it. I didn't get that feedback. And so I just judged myself. I judged myself and I thought I was just so bad, so dirty, so perverse. These were secrets I carried. My thought life was so wild. I had so many critical thoughts of myself, critical thoughts of other people, hateful thoughts of people. I was very resentful. I had a smile on my face. That's part of the persona I carried. I want everybody to think I was wonderful. So I never let people know how much negativity I had and how, like, people who were my girlfriends, my close friends, I would have these terrible thoughts and judgments of. I carried that shame, that burden for many years. So many things as emotional eaters we hold on to. And if you relate to this, please comment in the comment section if you relate to having a burden of shame. If you relate to believing for so long you're the only one who did the things that you did around food, please comment and know that that's not true, that you are not alone, that we were actually in really good company. Everybody has these secrets and they're all so common, what we believe. I thought if people knew the real me, they wouldn't accept me. They wouldn't love me or accept me. And I think so much of this journey of recovery from emotional eating has to do with becoming who we really are and making peace with who we are. I had somebody gave me a compliment yesterday. It was so wonderful. It was so sweet. She said I had a beautiful spirit. And it's somebody that I had just met, but I spent the evening with some friends. And she said that, and I took it in. I took it in. It touched my heart so deeply. But I didn't reject it. I didn't reject it. I didn't think she doesn't know me, or if she knew me, she wouldn't think that. I took it in. I received it because I believe it today. I believe it and I love the person that I am. And that's a result of the journey I've been on to heal emotional eating, the same journey that I'm guiding other women in the Heal Your Hunger program. And I believe that's really our purpose here as emotional eaters. And it's not about the food, but the food is what gets us to the door of healing, on the path of healing. If I had not been an emotional eater, I don't think I would feel the way I feel about myself. I mean, I might not have hated myself in the first place, but I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go in this healing journey and to clear out all the things in me that are not love so I could learn to love myself instead of judging myself. So, it's really an amazing thing, but it starts with letting go of the secrets. The reason why I am authentic today is because I faced all the things I thought that were so bad about myself, all the things I thought made me so horrible. And I let the cat out of the bag and I told somebody else my secrets. I told somebody all my secrets. And the reason why I'm so much of an open book on my show when I say how it is here is because I'm not ashamed or embarrassed anymore. I share personal things on this show because I hope it will help somebody. What's the point of having gone through the hell I went through if I can't share it as a means to help somebody else? And what I love about the process of healing that the women I help go through is that I get to see the relief they have when they realize they're not alone. When they realize they're not the only ones. There's so much laughter because we're all coming to see that we're just all so much alike. And the things we've done are so common. Roy used to say, "Yeah, I thought I was so creative. I thought I had thought up some new sins." He's like, "There's no such thing." And he used to always say to me, "Tricia, you're not that good at being bad." And I will say that to you, you're not that good at being bad. So those secrets that you're holding, those secrets that make you feel like you're so bad and so worthless or so dirty or so unlovable, I promise you, they're common things. You're not the only one. And you can get over the shame. You can get over the things that you don't like about yourself that can be changed. And you can do that. You can change those things. But you can also come to make peace with the parts of yourself that maybe can't be changed, that you think are so unacceptable. You can come to accept yourself and love yourself just the way you are. But it all starts with stopping living in the dark. Stop living with the secrets that you're holding. Start sharing with somebody. Share with somebody that you know you can trust. That's important. You got to have somebody you can trust. But start sharing those things that you think are so awful. If you're an emotional eater, get in community with other emotional eaters so you can laugh about the things that you think are so horrible. You can realize, oh my God, I'm not the only one, and laugh, and realize, oh, there's hope. There's hope that I don't have to keep doing this crazy behavior anymore. We are as sick as our secrets. There is no question in my mind. There is no way to heal from emotional eating alone. Healing from emotional eating cannot happen alone. You cannot do this alone. You've got to have the support of other emotional eaters, in my experience. Other emotional eaters, specifically people who have done the exact same things and who can tell you that you're okay. You're not bad because you've done them. This is vital for us. We have to come out of the shadows and share who we really are and get validated. We need people to mirror back, just like that woman did last night. That woman, so, so beautiful, who told me out of a beautiful spirit. I needed that. That was so, God, it was such a compliment. I don't think anybody could tell me anything more complimentary. But that beautiful spirit that she saw is because I don't have any secrets. I'm not living in darkness anymore. I'm an open book. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm not ashamed of the things I've done. There are a few things I wish I hadn't done, a few regrets, but not really, because they made me who I am today. And the things I felt so bad about, I was able to face. I was able to face and I was able to forgive myself. So I want that for you. I want that for you. And I just wanted to share this message because I think it's so powerful and so important. It's a simple message, but it is important. I don't want you to live with your secrets anymore. You're not that good at being bad. You're good. And anything you've done that's shameful or dark or dirty or anything that you deem unacceptable, I promise you, you did it out of fear. You did it because you didn't have the proper tools to do anything different. So you were good. You're good, even if you don't think so. But stop living with those secrets because they're weighing you down and they're making you sick. Okay. Stop living in isolation with your food issue. Start getting help for it. Nobody can overcome an addiction alone. So if you have addictive eating in any way, you're going to need to get help and you're going to need to share your burden, all the things you think are so bad about you. You can find safety. In the Heal Your Hunger community, my clients get so vulnerable on our Zoom calls together. They're private calls and women they just lay it out there. And there's so much healing in that. So much healing in honesty, so much healing in vulnerability, so much healing in having faith that others have your back. Community is so powerful. Identification with others who have the same problem, so essential to overcoming it. So I'm just here, just putting a little bug in your ear that you can be totally free. You can be free from that terrible shame and guilt that you carry. And if you are addicted to food and you've done crazy, stupid things with food, welcome to the club. You didn't think up anything new that's crazy or stupid. It's been done before. So I'm here to help. If I can help, if you want to reach out, I'd love to connect with you. And please be sure to connect in the Secret Sauce group. There's women there now. If they're coming out of the closet and they're realizing that they're not the only emotional eaters in the world. And I love that. So thank you so much. I love you so much. And I can't wait to be with you on the next show. Take good care.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.